Last year was a pretty slow year for real estate investing for me. I flipped a house and I bought a primary residence for myself. But other than that, I was so busy with 100 other things like managing the properties I already own, taking a road trip across the US, and writing the book on rental property investing that buying new properties kind of got pushed to the back of the line. However, this year I decided it was going to be different. So instead this year, I've already purchased 7 units, I've flipped 2 houses, I have 4 more units under contract to close soon, and we're just 2/3 of the way through the year. And best of all, these properties are going to add around $150,000 to my net worth and over $2,000 a month to my passive income. So how did I 10x my results this year compared to last? Well, my name is Brandon Turner with BiggerPockets.com, and today I want to share with you the 4 fundamental changes that I made in my life that helped me 10x my real estate investing this year. Stay tuned. Number 1, I chose to set big goals. On January 1st of this year, my wife and I sat down at one of our favorite restaurants, did our annual review of our goals. Over gourmet burgers and fries, we discovered how we did on our previous year's goals and what we wanted to get out of the coming year. And one of the specific goals that we made was to buy a dozen units this year. Why 12? Well, I knew that 12 would be a stretch goal, especially with the 40+ hours I was spending working on content for BiggerPockets, our first baby due in a few months, and the upheaval that would cause. But I also thought that 12 is something I could achieve if I really put my heart and soul into it. But goal setting is fairly worthless if you don't also have a plan or strategy for how you're going to achieve that goal. It's great that you want to be a millionaire, it's great that you want to win a Grammy or go to the moon, but if you don't have a plan to achieve it, so what? So our conversation that New Year's Eve led us towards another fundamental change that helped me 10x my goals this year, and that's number 2, I chose to hire some help. So as you know, I wanted to buy a dozen units this year, but I also knew that this year would likely be the most crazy year of my life so far. So I knew I needed help. So after putting out a call on Facebook for an assistant, I found Tracy. While Tracy helps me with a variety of tasks in my life, primarily she is my acquisitions manager. In other words, I placed her in charge of finding real estate deals for us to buy. Tracy came on board around February, and within 7 days, with no prior real estate experience, she had our first property under contract. That was our first flip of the year. So how? Well, for that we need to go to step number 3. But before we get there, I wanted to say this. A lot of you guys watching this right now are thinking, well, sure, it'd be nice to have an assistant, but I can't afford that. And well, maybe that might be true. However, understand that assistants come in all different forms. Maybe you can't hire someone full-time, but could you maybe hire a family or a friend to help you for a few hours a week or a few hours a month? Or could you hire someone purely on commission so you only need to pay them after they find a deal? Or maybe instead of an assistant, you find a partner who has a time to do it, and you guys work together and split the tasks. The bottom line is this: if you don't have time to do the work needed to achieve your goals, you have 3 options. Number 1, abandon your goals. Number 2, free up more time for yourself. Or 3, get someone to help you, which is what I did with my assistant, Tracy. Now, let's talk about how Tracy, my assistant, was so successful in getting that first deal under contract and the subsequent ones since then. Number 3, I chose to follow a daily process. As I said earlier, goals are mostly worthless unless you have a plan for making them a reality. I believe success for real estate investors comes down to a few specific actions done over and over and over and over. So I simply taught the process to Tracy, and she started doing these tasks every day. So what are these tasks? Okay, simply, here's the 4 things. We need to attract leads, we need to analyze those leads, we need to offer on those leads, and then we need to close the deals. In other words, I knew that if we wanted to buy more properties, we'd have to make more offers. And if we wanted to make more offers, we'd have to analyze more deals and find out how much we're going to pay in that analysis. And if we wanted to analyze more deals, we'd have to get more leads to come across our desk. So that's what Tracy did. Every day she works, a few different lead sources come in, such as direct mail, driving for dollars, the MLS, scanning Zillow, and a few others to get leads. If you want to know more about the strategies we used, be sure to check out the video, the 5 lead sources for my latest 5 deals, by clicking this video screen right here. Then, we started analyzing deals every day. To do this in just a few minutes every day, and to keep all these analyses organized, we use the BiggerPockets property analysis tools found at BiggerPockets.com/analysis. Here, my assistant or I could run the numbers in under 5 minutes to get a ballpark estimate on what we should offer. Then we'd offer on that. Of course, we experienced a lot of rejections, but we also received some yeses, and those made it all worth it. And that, my friends, is the real estate funnel. And if you want to buy more deals, you've got to make more offers, you got to analyze more deals, and ultimately you need to get more leads. So to 10x my investing this year, I simply made sure we were working this funnel every single day as part of our process. As long as we stick to the process, the results will take care of themselves. And frankly, they have. And finally, choice number 4 that I made this year, I chose accountability. It's one thing to make a goal and have steps, but it's another thing entirely to actually have motivation to continually push forward on those goals. Who's going to hold me accountable to what I promised myself I'm going to do? So to help with that, I made a choice to form a small mastermind group with some real estate friends that I met on BiggerPockets for twice monthly calls. This mastermind group has been incredibly powerful in my life in a few ways. First of all, the guys in the group are just crushing it this year, and it's an inspiration to see their success, and it motivates me to keep up with them, right? Secondly, these guys are helping me to figure out tactical solutions to problems and bottlenecks that I'm facing. And third, every call we establish 1 or 2 or 3 specific tasks that we are going to get done by next week or the next 2 weeks, and we all encourage each other with that. So I would encourage anybody who's thinking about growing their business, find a mastermind group, get on BiggerPockets, go in the forums, use the marketplace maybe, and form a group together. Now, before we get out of here, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. First of all, what choices do you need to make today to 10x your business this year? As one of my favorite speakers of all time, Jim Rohn, said, life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. So what changes do you need to make? And how are you going to make the next 12 months of your life the most impactful years you've ever had? What daily process do you need to take? What bad habits do you need to let go of? What time you're going to set your alarm for tomorrow morning? What help do you need? What do you need to cut out of your life immediately? Who do you need to cut out? Who do you need to spend more time with? Your choices determine your destiny, and the good news is you get to determine your choices. So make today the day that you take a stand and say no to mediocrity and yes to an incredible life. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I just ask that you do 3 super easy things for me. Number 1, put down your cell phone when you're with your family, like at dinner. Come on, it's just rude. Hi. Number 2, click the little thumbs up sign on this video, letting the internets know that this video rocks. And number 3, leave a comment below and let me know what changes you are going to make in your life to 10x your results. Now, let's get out of here. Again, for BiggerPockets.com, my name is Brandon, signing off.